This is how you make RGB armor in Minecraft using a data pack. First, you need a data pack to get you started. You know, one that has all the bare bones essentials that you need and things that you can delete that you don't need. And I get that from my starter pack, and I'll link that in the description. Next, you're going to need some initial commands to run. These are just going to be useful for making scoreboards and doing cool math. So for here, we just have a constant with a bunch of numbers and a scoreboard to keep track of what color we're on, and a speed variable to control how fast the color changes. Next, we're going to need to run some commands every single time the game runs a tick. And for this, we're going to need to change the hue value of the armor based on the speed. So we're just going to add the speed to the hue value. And if the hue value is above 360, then reset it to 1. And then we're going to convert the hue to RGB and then convert the RGB into decimal, because color on armors is stored as a decimal color value. And then we're going to save that inside of data storage element to grab later. Now, one thing that's important to note is if you want to cycle colors, like going from red to green to blue to purple to orange, then you're going to need to use HSV and just cycle the hue, because that is the ideal color space to work with. Now, to convert the hue and the RGB into decimal, you're going to need two magic functions. And these magic functions essentially just use the constants that we defined before to perform the math required to convert a hue number into RGB values. Then you're going to need the other magic math that will convert the RGB, like so, into decimal. Essentially just taking R, multiplying it by 2 to the power of 16, adding it with G to the times 2 to the power of 8, and adding it with B. And with that, you'll have a decimal value to output and save later. Now, what that looks like in game is you can see hue, and it's counting up from 1 to 360, and you can see decimal, and it's changing wildly. And R, G, and B are also changing pretty wildly as well, but the hue is very easy to track. Now, the last piece of the puzzle is getting that decimal value onto armor. So you're going to need to check if a player has the armor on using a predicate, and then you have to make a predicate. This predicate will check if the player has rainbow armor on their head, if they have rainbow armor on their chest, if they have rainbow armor on their legs, or if they have rainbow armor on their feet. And it's an alternative, so either of these will trigger it. Then you're going to need to change their color every time that they have at least one of these armor pieces on, based on what armor piece they have that color on. So you check if they have armor that has a tag of rainbow armor inside the feet slot, then you're going to apply an item modification to the armor.feet slot, and so on for the legs, chest, and head. And that armor modification is an item modifier. Now, with your new item modifiers folder, you got to make something that will copy that decimal value onto the armor's decimal value. So you go to the storage, and you go to the storage where you save the decimal value as some kind of MBT component, and you copy the color MBT component to the display.color armor tag. And with that, you have RGB armor in the game. Feel free to just download the data pack in the description that does everything I just explained instead of pausing, and run the CW RGB armor get command, and it will give you a full set of rainbow armor that will start changing colors when you put it on. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.